In this video, I'm going to give you a quick fire lesson in email marketing using what we call our P3 method. I'm going to walk you through an email from a very obscure niche, just so that you can see that this can work in basically anything. I pulled in $480 in 3 hours, and I know it went on to make more than that. I think it was closer to $1,000 in total once it was all said and done. I want to talk to you a little bit about how we use email marketing in our information business. So this is really for course creators, coaches, consultants, and affiliate marketers who sell digital products, particularly higher ticket stuff is what we focus on. This is a low ticket example in this email, and just really give a good introduction for people who are trying to get rocking and rolling with email and keeping it really, really simple. Okay, that's what this P3 email method is all about. Okay, so in my business, that first link in the description, when you click over there, you're going to see that you can enter your email. So we're big on building an email list, because in your business, that's your real asset. Okay, you give out a lead magnet. So if you decide to enter your email, for us, we're going to walk you through an offer that pulled in 45 grand in 11 days. That's a little bit of bait or a little bit of a bribe for you to give us your email address, and then we can stay in touch with you and we can communicate with you via email. We also then, once we have folks on email, we recommend that they join our Facebook group, and we run those two in conjunction with each other. Okay, so that's kind of where email fits into our business. Email is something that you should consider integrating, whether you're doing YouTube, TikTok, a podcast, Facebook, whatever. It can complement all of them as another method to communicate with your people and another method to sell stuff. Okay, so that's where it kind of sits in the broader picture. It can also be your sole kind of communication and sales method. We just prefer to mix and match it with a few other things as well. Okay, so this P3 email method keeps things really, really simple. All right, plot, pivot, and pitch. Okay, what's the plot of the email? We're going to give you an example in a second. It's a little bit of a quirky one. Pivoting the email and the pitch. Now, the pitch doesn't have to always be a product for sale. A pitch could be, go watch this YouTube video. A pitch could be, go look at this post on Facebook. A pitch could be, go listen to this podcast, go apply for this thing. Pitch can be anything, right? It's a call to action of some kind, and the significant majority of our emails include some kind of call to action, because you want people clicking and you want to be moving them around and seeing different things and spending time in your world. Okay, so that's the three. Plot is a little bit of a story. All right, what's the email all about? What's a little story behind it? What's something that happened in your day? It can be really, 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 really simple. It doesn't have to be this big creative thing. And this example I'm going to show you is going to show you how simple it really, really can be. Okay, then we're going to pivot the email, and what that's doing is it's moving from the story or the little analogy or whatever it is that you're giving people, pivoting over to our call to action. Then we deliver our call to action. Okay, so let's just walk through this example here. This was my sister's business. Actually, she helps cleaning business owners with their systems, so automating the process of getting clients, automating the process of delivery, all of that kind of stuff, but specifically domestic cleaning businesses. So it's quite a niche down service, right? And the reason emails like this work so well is because the majority of the people in that space are going to be sending emails like 5 tips for your cleaning business, and it's fucking boring. Okay, so what we do here with this example, it really stands out, right? I don't know the exact open rate. I don't really care. All I care is that it made money, and it really doesn't need to be complicated. So our subject line, right? I'll read you the email, then I'll give you a bit more context. Why do fish like water? Okay, so if you think about that by comparison to what the majority of people in the systems niches or business niches or cleaning business niches, they're not going to be sending emails with that kind of subject line. So immediately you're going to stand out in the inbox, and it's going to grab people's attention. Okay, then we go into it. Hey, this is just an example. Hi, Jacob. Why do fish like water? Right. So we're just repeating that question. We wouldn't have to include that there because it's repetition, but it's totally cool. So this is written from the perspective of my sister. She sent this out to her list of prospects. My 4-year-old asked me this the other day, and this is a 100% true story, right? Asked me this the other day. As usual, I was lost for words and didn't know what to say. Okay. But it did get me thinking about how kids ask those questions that seem so obvious and yet adults don't. Okay. So her 4-year-old asked her the question, Mummy, why do fish like water? And what I was trying to prove the point to her when I wrote this email for her, I said, tell me a random thing that happened today and I'll turn it into an email. And she said, well, Oscar asked me why do fish like water? And that's where this email came from. And we just roll on from there. So my 4-year-old asked me this the other day. As usual, I was lost for words and didn't know what to say right away. He says all these kind of quirky and funny things. It's hilarious. And so what we're doing here is we're taking that little thing and we're turning it into a bit of a lesson. Then we're going to pivot it. All right. But it did get me thinking about how kids ask those questions that seem so obvious and yet adults don't, right? Like to a kid, fish spends their whole day in water, so they must really like the water. So he's going, "Mummy, why do fish like water?" Right? As we get older, life gets busier and more complex. We become really good at just accepting that stuff is the way it is, right? It's true. We just don't question stuff. So many people get stuck in business and in life because they just don't question things. They don't, go, well, does it have to be this way? Do I have to work a 9 to 5? Do I have to do this? Or is there an alternative path? And it's only when we question these assumptions that we can find really, really cool shit. Right? Like I used to work in corporate, I'd do insane hours. I could have kept doing that, but I was like, there must be a better way. There must be a different way for me to make money. I don't want to work in an office 80, 100 hours a week. This is not the life I want. I had to question the assumption that there was other ways to make really, really good money without working those kind of hours and doing it on my terms. Okay, that's a bit of a tangent there, but you get the point. As we get older, life gets more busy and more complex. We become really good at just accepting that stuff is the way that it is, but it really doesn't have to be, okay? So we're starting to pivot here. We've used a little story and we're starting to pivot. Take my clients, for example. When we start working with them or when we start working together, so many of them are almost 100% resigned to the fact that they can't take vacations, have to work huge hours, and need to be really hands-on in their business. This just isn't true. They've simply stopped questioning the way things are done. And so she helps them with systems that save a lot of time. And a lot of these cleaning business owners are so in the weeds. They're so busy. They're doing so much. They just don't get any time for air. Okay. I love to see the looks on their faces and the sheer excitement as they start deploying our systems and they get air back in their life and business. One of the quickest ways to do this is to get on top of your inbox. People waste so much time in their inbox, it's not even funny. That's why I've developed my ultimate email toolkit. You can check it out here. So this is a lower ticket product that helps people get on top and get their email inbox organized. Okay. Which as a business owner, I can tell you when that's out of control, it wastes a lot of time and you feel really, really disorganized. That is as simple as it needs to be. This one pushed close to $1,000 and in the first 3 hours, this is a tiny list as well, right? Like it's like pretty sure it's like less than 500 people. It might be around that mark. $480 in 3 hours, right? On a low ticket product. I think it was under $50. So there's so many lessons in this. One is this model here, right? Plot, this is our plot here. There's just little story, okay? Then we start to pivot that story to a business example. So take my clients, for example. We're pivoting the email and then we're teeing up our pitch. In this case is a low ticket product. That's why I developed my brand new email toolkit. You can check it out here. Then you drop the link, have a great day. People enjoy reading stuff like this because it's different from the normal crap in the business space, the system space in the industry. And it's super simple and fun to come up with. So I wanted to make this video so you could see an example, one of an email that's made money, right? Most people don't share those. 2, a really simple framework, plot, pivot, pitch, 3 Ps, really easy. And to show you that it can literally be any topic. The art and science to this comes in the ability to turn random topics into something relevant to the product. That's where you will get better and better and better at that through more and more and more practice, okay? And the only way that you're gonna be able to get better at that is by actually doing it. You're not gonna be able to think your way to proficiency with this, okay? So I thought I'd show you a bit of a quirky example in a different niche that made money. It's a really short email. It draws on some completely random scenario from something that happened that day. And now you've got a framework to go out there and start pumping out daily emails, okay? Hopefully you got something out of that. Check out that first link in the description if you want more information about how we build information businesses, selling courses, coaching, consulting, digital affiliate products. And that's just a bit of a, preview into how you can integrate email into all of this. Appreciate you checking out the video. Have a fantastic day. Cheers.